Good afternoon, everyone. This is Keisha Anderson here from Keep Augusta Beautiful, and we are interviewing Miss Candace Cave from Keep Aiken County Beautiful over in the great state of South Carolina. Candace Cave is a community mobilizer hailing from the beautiful Aiken, South Carolina. She is a graduate of Aiken High School and earned a degree from the University of South Carolina, Aiken. She spent 8 years in the armed forces, followed by over a decade in nonprofit. While Candace enjoys program and project management, she has always had a passion for community education. Candace has earned certifications to facilitate several evidence-based curriculums. She is also certified to train others to facilitate making proud choice since 2017. She is also a practitioner of crime prevention through environmental design since 2019. Ms. Cave cares deeply about her community and is active civically as a member of the South Carolina Litter Control Association and Comprehensive Health Education Committee member for Aiken County Public School District. In 2019, Ms. Cave was appointed by the United States Department of Energy to serve as a member of the Environmental Management Site-Specific Advisory Board at Savannah River. Ms. Cave can often be found gardening, reading, or supporting local events. When possible, she enjoys road trips with her husband. The couple enjoys stopping at state and national parks along the way.
That was a lot. I was like, oh, she's talking about me. Oh my goodness.
Yes, that is a lot of accomplishments, girl. Kudos. That's what I'm talking about. Yes.
Doesn't seem like it. It goes by so quickly.
The years do. So I read your bio and we got a little sense of who you are. Tell us how you got started with Keep Aiken County Beautiful.
Well, I had been working in nonprofit for several years. I was a director of a community-based program, and I just wanted to try something different. I was working on a 5-year project. That project came to an end, although my position didn't end with that organization. And I wanted to still be engaged civically and do things within the community, but I wanted to do something totally different than what I was doing. And I kept seeing the position available on the Aiken County website. I was like, I'm gonna try and I'm gonna apply for this position, and here I am.
Okay, so your story is quite similar to mine. We got started not really knowing what we were getting involved into, so it was a new venture and it was exciting.
Yes.
So with you getting into Keep Aiken County Beautiful, are there any unique situations that you found along the way?
Well, one of the things that attracted me to the position is that it was brand new. The county had never had this type of position before. No one had ever worked in this role for the county before. And I kind of have a track record of doing that in my career. So previously, I worked as a position that was brand new to the agency that I used to work for. No one had ever done it. And I got to kind of help design what the position was and what the job duties would be.
Nice.
And create the systems that would help that department. And it was super, I found out that I really liked the process planning part of it and the strategic planning. And then something happened later where my former nonprofit, they merged and they kind of got brought in another nonprofit as a division of the existing nonprofit. And it was brand new to the agency that I worked for. And they were like, hey, we need someone to go over there and learn what they're doing and see how they do what they do. And I was the person that volunteered to do it. And I actually enjoyed the community piece, going out into the community and the schools. And so then again, they created a new position. It was like, hey, we're gonna not just have one program that's community-based, we're gonna have a whole department or division. And would you like to apply for that as well? I was like, this is new,
Okay.
exciting.
New
And
doors
so
opening.
you're right, it was so exciting. And I was like, again, so again, I was in the position where I got to kind of come on board at the very beginning of the department or a position in an agency and kind of help create it and set out the vision and the mission and how it would work within the organization. And I find that strategic part really interesting. I like the detail part, like figuring out the processes and how we're going to operate. And so with Keep Aiken County Beautiful, it was the same thing. It was like, here's another opportunity to do something that hasn't been done before with the county, get in at the very beginning, make sure it has a strong foundation, make sure those systems are in place so it can be sustainable and, you know, carry on for a really long time. So I think I like that. Now that I'm talking to you, I didn't realize
Yeah.
how much I do like that part of it.
So what kind of systems have you guys put in place that's helped you throughout your journey? Wait, before you answer that,
uh-huh.
let's backtrack real quick.
Uh-huh.
We did not tell everybody how old you guys were.
Well, Keep Aiken County Beautiful, it's in its infancy. With Keep America Beautiful, with the affiliate family, we are just 1 year old. Officially, we became an affiliate on June 18th of 2019. And I think that is amazing. I was like,
That is.
I love the environment. You know, I love gardening, and my husband is an outdoors person, so we're hiking and stuff like that from time to time. And I had been following the litter issue in Aiken County for a while. It was in the paper from every now and then. People would write letters to the editor, and reporters would cover the litter issues in Aiken. And so I was aware of the litter issue, and I think the litter issue is what made the county want to become an affiliate of Keep America Beautiful. And with me, one of the first things that I did when I got the position and I came on board, I actually started during the Christmas holiday, and it was very quiet. There wasn't a lot of people in the office, and I took full advantage of it. And I started working immediately on a community mobilization plan. And so we have a 14-point community mobilization plan that I started, but I also got feedback from our former litter task force, from the county administrators, from my supervisor, from Palmetto Pride. And then once we put our Keep Aiken County Beautiful advisory board together, they actually helped me finish our 14-point community mobilization plan. That was the very first thing that I started.
Oh, man.
And it was kind of like the roadmap for how our program would start and how we would navigate the affiliate process, which you know.
Oh my gosh.
It's not a difficult process, but it can be very tedious because there are a lot of parts to it. And it's really a community plan. So you have to consult with so many different individuals, and it just took a long time. It actually didn't take as long as I was told it was gonna take.
No, now you guys flew through the process. And I think you and I had a conversation while you were going through it, you know, trying to put the pieces together.
Yeah.
And I was just amazed at how fast you were able to get the community together, to get the information, and to get to the finish line. Because I think you guys are only a couple of months younger than us.
Yeah.
And it took us about a year to get through our complete process.
Yeah,
I was simply amazed.
It took about 6 months. Part of that was because I didn't have to do a lot of begging for support. They were already on board and they were waiting for someone to like take it and run with it. And once I got permission to take it and run with it, that's what I did. I think one of the main things that makes community mobilization successful is leveraging relationships. And to my benefit, I'm an Aiken girl. I was born in Aiken. I did most of my formal education in Aiken. And so I knew a lot of people. I was familiar with a lot of the offices and organizations that you need to consult in order to do the affiliate process. And that made it super, I won't say super, but it made it much easier. Because I think people are more willing to talk to you and help you if they at least know you or recognize.
That is so true. That is so true. A lot of what we do is about relationships, you know, making sure you know your way around. And I think that may have been a hindrance for me because I am an outsider, even though I've lived in Augusta now going on 10 years.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
I kind of stayed in my little bubble where I was before, and I didn't branch out a lot. And so this job made me do that. Like it was like, you have got to get out there. You got to get to know people. Like,
Absolutely.
This job will definitely do it.
It will.
I'm glad you had those relationships already built, because it does help a whole lot, especially going through our initial process of becoming an affiliate.
Absolutely.
How have those relationships grown since you have really gotten to work and you've gotten your affiliation status? Have they been able to grow, or have you seen yourself kind of all over the place? And so
well, you know, with our plan, it kind of forces you to focus. Part of the plan is doing a needs assessment and kind of seeing the community wants and needs and what they see as issues. And then after that, one of the first things that you do as part of the community mobilization plan is to draft your vision and mission. And I had been through a mission and vision revisioning before, and it was a long process. It was a long process because there was already an existing vision and mission in place. This process was a little bit easier because there wasn't nothing to undo. We just had to sit down, figure out what we want to do, figure out what we don't want to do. And then with the vision and mission, once you have that in place and you have buy-in from all the people that contributed and then the community, everything that we do at Keep Aiken County Beautiful goes back to our vision and mission. If it doesn't fit in some way with our vision or mission, we don't do it. Unfortunately, sometimes that there are opportunities that you can't participate in because it doesn't fit with your vision and mission, but I always leave the door open because you never know how that opportunity might transform into something else. And so again, it's all about relationships. And I think that the beauty of this, because it's a new program, people are just curious and they want to know more about it. That? You know, I've never heard of that. But let me tell you. So I get to tell people what we do and what our mission is and what our vision is and kind of how it fits into what they do. Sometimes you have to help people see how it fits or relates to them. And so as long as you're able to connect it to people, how it should be relevant to them, most people are totally willing to help.
That's cool. That's awesome. But like, again, we always come back to those relationships, and especially in this line of work that we do, because we do so much inside our communities. I've had people come up to me and they've heard about us, but they don't exactly know what it is we do. And so those are the neighborhoods that I found that we tend to get into easier because there is somebody that wants to know more. Have you had any instances where it's been hard for you to get into a community or hard for you to spread the message about Keep Aiken County Beautiful?
Oh, absolutely. There are always challenges, but in every challenge, I look for the opportunity. And so a lot of times you do have to have an ambassador. There has to be a person in that community already that's at least interested in what you're doing. And so I try to seek those people out to my advantage. When I do have a challenge sometimes, I have the benefit of working directly in the code enforcement department. So often the officers are in the communities, they're all over the county. They see the areas that have need, they're here, they're talking to people, they have questions, issues going on as it relates to beautification or litter and other problems. So often the officers will be the ambassador for me, and they're like, hey, I can't help you with that, but we have a program that might can help you, and they'll pass out my card, or they'll give me someone's number and say, hey, they're having this issue in this community. They can benefit from a community cleanup or something like that. So it's totally a benefit to be embedded in the code enforcement department for me.
Yeah. Tell us more about that, because I know we have a lot of affiliates, and some of us are government, some of us are nonprofits. Talk to us about your makeup and how you guys are structured.
So code enforcement, well, in Aiken County, our code enforcement is in the county government center. And so we're right in here with where the county council meets and where people come for information about their taxes and questions about their driveways or, things like that. So we're right here where where people come from all over the county, which is awesome. But the code enforcement division, they handle litter, they handle property nuisance, they handle business complaints. Then they also handle animal enforcement as well. My supervisor has 14 officers that she supervises for Aiken County. All of those enforcement officers fall under code enforcement. And then we have a dispatcher, and then we have Candace. Candace is, I'm considered through the county a program coordinator, and the program that I coordinate is Keep Aiken County Beautiful. And I kind of work with the litter enforcement officers, but in our office, I work with all of the enforcement officers. So I get a little bit of their take on what's going on in the county and what's needed. I get to learn a lot about the community policies and ordinances that I didn't know. It's very interesting. It's very interesting.
Okay.
I wish we were nonprofit.
Yeah, me too. I think it opens the door for more things we're able to do. Yeah. And of course, the funding portion helps as well, being able to take in donations and whatnot.
Right. And I think that's probably one of the challenges that I face is that often people who are not able to volunteer or who don't want to physically volunteer, they want to donate. And because I am not Keep Aiken County Beautiful is not a nonprofit, I am not able to take donations. I think that's probably one of my biggest challenges. However, there is also a benefit to being embedded within the county government. So I don't have to rely on donations for my budget. So I have a set budget for Keep Aiken County Beautiful. And then we go out and we partner with other organizations, and then we seek grants. We get a lot of support from Keep South Carolina Beautiful. We get a lot of support from Palmetto Pride, which is the leading litter organization in South Carolina. And I think, of course, there are drawbacks to not being a nonprofit, but there are also just some security in that as well.
It is.
It really is. It really is. And I think Palmetto Pride, as well as Keep South Carolina Beautiful, are considered nonprofits, if I'm not mistaken. So they can receive donations.
Okay. So do you guys have a setup like we do here in Georgia? Like I can go to Keep Georgia Beautiful. If there's a grant that I can't seek because of my government status, they'll seek it through them and funnel the funds back.
Yes, listen, Keep South Carolina Beautiful has been my biggest support. While I was was familiar with nonprofit. I was familiar with community mobilization. I love community engagement and community education. I did not know that much about litter. I did not know it was that much to know about litter. I didn't know it was that much to know about recycling. Beautification. Beautification is the thing that initially attracted me to the position. I love gardening. It's very relaxing to me.
Mhm.
Therapeutic. I love to grow things that I can eat. My husband loves to grow things that are pretty. So he likes different types of flowers. And I don't care about the flowers, even though I think they're beautiful and they help my yard look better. I love to grow vegetables and fruit and things like that. So the beautification part comes natural to me. But boy, did I learn a lot about litter. There's a whole business, there's a whole behavior. I feel like there's so many legal aspects to it. There's so many finance aspects to it.
I didn't realize it was so big.
Right. And I didn't at the beginning, I didn't realize how much a little piece of trash impacts our community.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that's the thing, one of the things that I enjoy about this opportunity is that I'm still learning, and I'm helping the community, because I find so many people, especially when I go out to community fairs and things like that, or when I speak to homeowners associations, they're like, wow, I didn't know that about litter, didn't know. And it helps people get it, because if I don't know, I think it's important for other people to know. I can't be the only one that didn't know that cigarettes are the most littered thing in the world. I couldn't be the only one that didn't know that. I couldn't. And so it's amazing to people sometimes when they find out how impactful litter is and how it impacts our quality of life. My board, we developed talking points pretty early on. We wanted to make sure that we were kind of telling the same story when we go out and talk to the community. We don't tell them what to say word for word, but there are certain points that we feel it is important that we all know as a board when we go out and we represent Keep Aiken County Beautiful. And one of the things that was important to my advisory board is that litter is a health and safety issue. Mm-hmm. And it's a way that a lot of people don't think about it, you know? And so that's one of the main things that I make sure I tell people when I go out and talk about litter in the community.
Okay. Now you mentioned your board goes out and they do presentations for you as well. How did you get them more, I guess, involved in it and being able to go out by themselves without you having to be there?
Yes, I tell you what. One of the things that the strategic, the mobilization plan that what I worked on initially, it calls for developing your board. You know, there's different types of boards. You have to have a strong onboarding process and kind of explain to people before they apply what you need from them and what you expect from them. And one of the things that I expressly tell people, I want full transparency, and this is an active working board. Even though it says advisory in the title, and that is your main thing, we need your input because we're in our infancy and we need your perspective. That's why we made sure that the board represented the community. We have people from every council district. We have people from all types of backgrounds. They have all different reasons why they joined the board, but it's an active board. We do stuff. We don't just meet. And so I think that it's important not to push people, but I want full transparency. So I don't want you to do anything you're not comfortable with. So I asked them as part of the onboarding process, I asked them, what do you like to do? What is something you would not be willing to do? And if you say you're not willing to go out and speak in the public, I will not ask you to do that. If you say you do not want to go out and work with young children, I will not ask you to do that. However, I will ask you to do something.
Yeah. Okay. So your board is pretty active. You don't, do you feel like you have to kind of pull it out of them, or they just kind of came in and were like, we're excited about it?
Yeah, well, one of the benefits, but it was also a little hurdle. I needed some hurdle help at the beginning. But one of the benefits that I had was that there was a litter task force already in place. And litter task force wanted to have to be an affiliate of Keep America Beautiful. However, the litter task force suffered from what I think a lot of boards and organizations suffer from. They were pretty much all the same. They had very similar backgrounds, and they lacked diversity in how they think, diversity where they lived in the community. And they cared deeply about litter, and they were passionate. I learned that at the very first meeting with them, when I asked them for permission because they were already here. So I wanted to make sure they were an ally, but I learned very quickly they were passionate about litter, but they weren't very diverse, and they weren't, and they kind of suffered from groupthink. I think they had been spinning their wheels for a while, and it was frustrating to them. And so once I kind of assured them that I care about litter, I care about Aiken, I want to make it better, and I do need your help, and I invited them to apply to be on the advisory board. And I think all of them did except for one. But he still calls and checks in, and he still sends me emails and say, hey, y'all doing great things. You've gotten further than we ever thought it could go. But I had asked for permission, and I think that kind of made it easier because we had people that were already passionate about litter.
Yeah.
And so that made it a little bit easier. One of the other things that we had to do was just kind of find out where people's other passions were. So I know you're passionate about litter. What else are you passionate about? Some people, they want signage. They want signs everywhere that says no littering. Got some people that want to go into schools and work with the children so they don't pick up the littering behavior. You have some people, all they want to do is sit in their meeting and say, give their opinion. And what community. You have some people who want to do assessments, and they're all about the litter index. You have some people that want to talk to the governor. They want to talk to the mayor. They want to write letters to the editor. I need all of you. I do. And so it's not, I won't say it's not hard. It can be a challenge, but you have to ensure that you're not pushing people. And then I feel one of the other things that's important when working with my board is giving people an out. Like, so can you help me with this? If you cannot, can you help me with this, something else? And so people, normally they'll give you an out. If you can't help me, can you tell me a person who may be able to help with this? And I think sometimes that is helpful. It doesn't close the door to opportunities for me or for the board, but it also gives me an opportunity to learn different things about my board. And again, like you said earlier, it's all about relationships. And once you figure out what people are willing to do or not willing to do, great, it's great. And you can definitely execute your mission.
Oh, that is awesome. I think we are running out of time. I've got about 3 minutes left before Zoom says bye-bye. Is there anything you want to leave other affiliates with going through this process, or what you've learned along the way?
Oh, wow. That is a very heavy question. I think that the mission of Keep America Beautiful, is important, and it applies to every community, not even just in America. Like, this is something, litter, recycling, beautification, all those things are important in any community, in every community. I think you have to be willing to step outside of your comfort zone. You have to be willing to collaborate with people in organizations that maybe you wouldn't have thought of before. One of the other things I feel is helpful is just sometimes we have to have conversations, and that's one of the challenges for me is that I'm a very diplomatic person, and I want everybody to be happy, and I want to please everyone. But sometimes we have to have courageous conversations and just be transparent. This is what I need. This is what the program needs. This is what we need to move forward with our vision for the community. And sometimes you have to be willing to, look, my light went off. Sometimes you have to be willing to accept the no or the not right now. But always follow up. And often the follow up is what makes the difference.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you so much. We're going to close out now. So I want to thank you for talking with me today and being one of the first of our affiliate conversations. So congratulations. Congratulations on everything you've accomplished. And I'm just excited watching it, like it unfold. Like you've done some awesome things, and I think it needs to be out there for the world to see. Congratulations.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye.